Next in the men's category is M6044. These are just button-up shirts. A variety of button-up shirts. And I actually had this pattern in my stash already, but it was in the smaller size range. This one I picked up in the extra large to XXL size range. Okay, also this pattern is from 2022. My favorite versions are versions B and versions C. The other versions, for some reason, maybe it's these pockets in the yoke, but it's a little bit too, it's not his style. Let me just put it that way. It's not his style. His style is a little bit more clean and classic, so I think version C would be very, very lovely for the hubs. All right, that's M6044. Let's take a look at the back. Here are the line drawings. And obviously, the suggested fabrics are all woven fabrics. All woven shirting fabrics, pretty much. M6044 from 2022. I have M8441. This is a jogger set. This has my husband written all over, all of the views. All of the views. This is absolutely something that he would be into. So this pattern is from 2023. And like I said, I picked it up for every single version. It's in sizes 34 to 42. My favorite of all of the styles on here is version A. There's something about this collar that just appeals to me. It looks a little more sporty. I really like that. And I think he would actually prefer this version as well. All right, let's take a look at the back. We have the line drawings, and the suggested fabrics are for stretch knits only. 35% stretch. Wow, I think that's the very first time I've ever seen them list the stretch percentage on the suggested fabrics. I could be wrong, but wow, I think it's the first time I've ever seen them do that. They should do that all of the time. All right, so like I said, the suggested fabrics are stretch knits only, and here are the line drawings. Perfect opportunity for some color blocking. There's so many seam lines. You do a lot with this. This might be an awesome scrap buster, depending on your fabric choices. Okay, M8441. Next up, I have a home decorating pattern. It's McCall's 4123 from the year 2022, and I picked it up specifically for version H. This would be absolutely perfect for when, I'm reading in bed at night, or I just need to prop up at night. This is a really good one. And if you can see, it has pockets. Pockets for, what is that, a remote control, a magazine back there. I would put glasses in here. But yeah, this really appeals to me. That's why I picked it up. All of these versions would be useful and handy. And I don't know about this one, because I have a neck pillow, but most of these versions will eventually get made, because not only are they handy and useful to have around the house, this would also be a really good scrap buster for your smaller scraps, because you could use it as stuffing. And I'm always looking for a good way to get rid of my scraps instead of having to throw them away. Anyway, this is McCall's 4123. Let's take a look at the back. There are no line drawings on the pattern itself, but the suggested fabrics are denim home deck fabrics, twill or poplin. Poplin? It seems like a little thin for that, but all right. And muslin for the contrast of A through F or H inner pillow. Maybe the poplin is for the inner pillow? All right, we'll go with it. So McCall's 4123 from 2022. And the final patterns are all baby or kids patterns. Let's get into it. We have Butterick 3782, and this is from 2003. And I picked this up specifically for the cardigan because I just didn't have any cardigans in my daughter's wardrobe, and it is something that I knew I was going to need. Now, when I purchased these patterns, she was well within the size ranges of all of the baby patterns. She is no longer in that size range, and this pattern did not get made. So I'm not sure about grading a kid's pattern. I'm not sure about how to grade that up, and I don't know if I will or if I won't, but it's good to have these patterns in your collection. You never know. It might be a lot more simple than I think it is. Anyway, the size range on this pattern is preemie to extra large, which is a weight of 26 to 29 inches or a height of 31 to 32 inches. So let's take a look at the line drawings. And for the fabric suggestions, moderate stretch knits for the jacket, wovens for everything else. All right, that is Butterick 3782. Next up is B6951, and it is from 2023. I picked this up for all of the versions except for the shorts. All of them. Now, she is within this size range because it does go from 1/2 to 4. So I still have an opportunity to make this if I wanted to. However, my mom also has this pattern, and she made her this version. She made my daughter this version, B and E. So super cute. Adorable. I will say it did come out rather large for her size. So that's something to be aware of if you're going to make this pattern. But super, super adorable. And I don't believe it took her very long to make this. All right, let's take a look at the back. Here are the line drawings, and the suggested fabrics are all woven fabrics. Adorable. Adorable. B6951. Next is McCall's M7648 party dresses. What little girl doesn't need party dresses? This is in size ranges 3 to 6, so I still have a little while to go. I still have a chance to make this should the need arise. This pattern is from 2022, and I picked it up for all the versions because all of these are just adorable. Adorable. All right, let's take a look at the back. So the suggested fabrics are all woven fabrics, obviously, your dressier fabrics. And here are the line drawings. So stinking cute. And that is M7648 from 2022. Next is Simplicity S9761. This pattern is from 2023, and I picked it up for the dress. I thought that dress was just adorable. Look at these lines. So cute. I'm not a fan of this fabric choice. That's, I don't know, it's a little weird for me, but this in particular, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous. The pattern size is from 3 to 6. This shirt is also pretty cute as well. I don't know about these pants, but the shirt is adorable. All right, let's take a look at the back. Here are the line drawings. The suggested fabrics are woven fabrics. All woven fabrics, which makes sense. And that would be S9761 from 2023. And finally, I've got Simplicity S9800. This pattern is from 2023, and I picked it up specifically for this top. How adorable is this little top? It got me. There's a whole reason I picked up this pattern. However, now that I have it, the shorts and the pants are probably, those patterns are going to come in handy as well. But that top, that was the whole reason I bought this. It is in sizes 3 through 8, and look how cute this little girl is. Cutie patootie. All right, let's take a look at the back. Here are the line drawings. The suggested fabrics are all wovens. batiks, chambray, cotton blends, gauze, gingham, linen blends, seersucker, all wovens. And it looks like this is some shearing going on. So that would definitely be a new technique for me, because I don't think I've ever done shearing before. Anyway, that is McCall's S9800, and I'm actually looking forward to cutting that out.